Any other recent thoughts or lessons learned that you want to share?
Thinking about this before we got on today, I think the other mistake that I made is playing it too safe. Sometimes not going into a deal that I could have gone in at least at a small level, and that would have been okay for me. I mean, again, it's about your own personal risk tolerance, ROI potential of the deal. And I could have gone into some other things that I didn't, because it depends on how disciplined you want to be as an investor. You say, I'm going to do X number of deals a year. What if that other one comes along that just looks amazing? And you think, okay, I'm fully deployed. Do I want to borrow some capital from next year and do this? That's tough. But I've missed out on some really great opportunities because I probably should have taken a little bit more of a risk on some of those and just said, okay. I think that's one of my biggest lessons learned. Every investor talks about not just successes and failures. We talk about the ones that got away. That takes time for you to start thinking back, again, having done this for 12 years. Okay, why did I pass on those deals? They were great. I loved the technology, but either I felt it was, for whatever reason, that I skipped on it at the time. How should I have been thinking about it instead? So it's that constant analysis.
A quick note before we continue the conversation. Alongside the Diligent Observer podcast and newsletter, I also run an outsourced operations service specifically built to serve angel networks. My team handles things like initial screening, social media, newsletter prep, platform management, and a whole lot more. The kinds of things that either aren't getting done or shouldn't be done by busy community leaders. If that sounds interesting to you, send me a note. Now, back to it.
Do you have a specific strategy for doing that reflection, for helping take notes? How do you personally do that? Because I know every individual angel that I've talked to struggles with staying organized and thinking back, why did I make this decision 8 years ago when the company now goes public? And you're like, oh.
That is a great question. I do keep notes. I am that person that from the very first time I meet them, I can go back and look at my notes in my folder in the cloud and see what I thought of them at the time. So yes, I do that. Every single conversation I have with an early stage company, invest or not, and of course, most of them I don't, I have notes on that and I can go back. We're looking at a company right now at Houston Angel Network, came through 2 years ago, and I have my notes and I can pull it back up and see, how did they actually execute on what they said they were going to do? Getting organized and keeping that information is incredibly important. And that actually is across asset classes. I find that it doesn't matter what asset it is, deals come back up. You don't know that if you're in your first 1, 2, 3, 4 years of angel investing. You don't realize this is going to happen over and over and over again. But you can learn from that. Honestly, what I think I have learned is that the relentlessness of the entrepreneur is what is most important to me in a deal. I want to see, we talked about disruptive technology. I want to see something that can be a whole new standard in an industry. And I want to see an entrepreneur who is so committed and passionate that they are willing to, on a daily basis, look at the world and trim their sails so that they're going to actually hit their target. It's a long journey. I have deals that are 12 years old and have not exited yet. That's not supposed to happen. We could talk about lack of liquidity in early stage right now. That's a whole different thing. But those entrepreneurs, we talk about the pivot, but it's really more of a everyday, a relentlessness about optimizing. I would really call it optimizing. Talking to your customers, talking to your suppliers, talking to your development team, and optimize. How do we refine? How do we improve on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? It's not about the huge, oh, this was our strategy, now this is our strategy. It's that constant evolution that happens on a micro basis, but has the most profound impact. It's that drive to just be the best. That's a personality thing that you're looking for at the top level of the organization. And you're looking for them to be able to bring a team around them, like-minded people with that same drive. If you see that, the likelihood of success, at least, I think is much higher. And then I don't care who they are, where they're from, how old they are, what their background is. It's that individual that is going to be able to create a very successful company.
Amazing. Well, we will end it there. Mitra, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a blast.
So great talking with you, and I hope we get more angel investors into the community.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Diligent Observer. I'm your host, Andrew, and if you're an angel investor looking for essential angel intel in 5 minutes every week, I think you'd enjoy my newsletter. I send my best stuff, interesting deals, and more straight to your inbox so you never miss a thing. Subscribe today at thediligentobserver.com.